Okay, the Gemara. So, Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. So we have Rav Yehuda, who's the Talmud of Rav, the Talmud of Shmuel, and a lot of the Gemara is brought from Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. So Rav Yosef is bringing down his teachings and says that Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, V'fnei ma amru, Besula nises liyom Ravi. Now, what is this question? We have in the Mishnah, Bate dinim yoshim ba'arayas b'yom sheni b'yom chamishi. She'im hayelo tanis besulim haye mashkin lebeistin. So, seemingly, the tam here is that you can get married on Sunday and you can get married on Wednesday. And besulim nisis liyom ravi, but really they're only married on Wednesday. So the push pshat of the question, why do they say that the woman is married on Wednesday? Pashtus of the question is and not on Sunday. And Rashi also says up in the in his commentary on the Mishnah, he says as it's Gemarra perich Vetanya bechad b'Shabbos. So it should say on the first of Shabbos. Pashtus, that's the question that Rav Yosef is asking. That's a simple question coming out of the Mishnah. Lefisha sheninu. So this is a Mishnah later on, a Nun Zion. So Rashi, Lefisha sheninu lekaman makshiyala. Now, already here, I was only kind of realizing this Gemara doesn't make any sense kind of later on, because I'm trying to understand what the Gemara is saying here. But Rashi here is going, he says v'chule. So v'chule is going on the whole part of the Gemara, and then when you read that Gemara, you see he hasn't answered anything. He hasn't done anything. This Gemara is really nonsensical and out of place. So lekaman makshiyala. So hegiu man velo nisu. Lekaman perach afal pi. So that's the name of the parak. Don't get it confused that Rashi is saying afal pi here. The name of the parak is afal pi. So again, that's on Nun Zion, and there's a Mishnah there. Noisin lebesulim shnaim asar chodesh mishatava habal. So that the Baal basically does kedushin with the woman. You give her then 12 months. You give her 12 months to get her takshitim together, and he has 12 months in order to pay for the wedding. But back in the day, they give them 12 months. She gets her stuff together, he gets her stuff together, and then they have to. The his here al ha nisuyin, and then they have to have the nisuyin in 12 months, and they're able to mefarnes atzman betach shitin. This is the woman is able to parnes themselves. So here le parnes kandrir belaz, almana shloshim yom, so that the basula gets these 12 months and the almana only gets 30 days. The almana should already have all her stuff together, but the basula she hasn't had a wedding already, so therefore she needs to save up for all this stuff. But the almana, we expect her to be there already. Really, it's not clear here what Rashi is. Le farnes is kreter belaz. What exactly is he bringing from here? So, dogma me Gemara. It's an example from the Gemara in the Rish Kesuvos. It's the time when they didn't get married. Rashi medaber al azman shenaton lebesula lefarnes asma. But Takshitin, Rashi talking about the time when the woman has to prepare herself with her jewelry. Lefarnes kardon balaz, as Rashi says. So Lefia Girsa Gemara Shalano. So it seems that there's different ways to spell this word here. So the kavan also, what's the kavan of Rashi? She'ain pirush shel leparnes kan miloshin lekalkal. So kalkal is like economics, and to feed yourself. So leparnes is not that she is given 12 months to feed herself, because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, which we'll see. That the point of this parnes is that she is getting she is supplying her jewelry, making herself look good for the wedding. Now the whole din here is that he has to feed her after the 12 months, and that there's two things that happen. So the Gemara says that Yale Monos Lakachininu, it says Basula Nisis Liom Hagiyazman velon nisui, vecheles mishalo. She now eats his stuff. Vecheles betruma, and then she can eat in truma. So the Hagiyazman ze velo nisui lechupa. So the 12 months are up, and he never went to chuppah. Lekaman mefarash ekev baal. Later on, we'll explain that it was the baal that was mi'akev the whole business. Why they didn't get married? So they didn't get married, and so velo nisui, they didn't get married. Ocheles mishalo, she then gets fed by him. She doesn't have to feed herself anymore. So therefore, they're not going to give her 12 months in order to feed herself, because she's getting fed by him anyway. So therefore, why would they say, oh, you got 12 months to feed yourself? Just cut it right now and let him feed her. But the point is that she gets 12 months to get her takshitin. And the parnes is not to feed herself; it's to get her takshitin. So that's why Rashi brings up that lashon loazi. Now here we have a funky idea, ocheles betruma, and this is really just a din over there in Perik Afal P. But deraisa in kedushin, once you makadesh a woman, even without nisuyin, the woman can eat truma as an Ashes Kohen, even though there's no nisuyin. The Rabbanan were oiker this din and allowed her to and stopped her from eating the truma, and then if they didn't actually get married after the 12 months, then bang, she's allowed to eat the truma now. So the simple way to understand the sugya is that since the Baal is not feeding her, so therefore she's eating in the house of her father. Since she's eating in the house of her father, so then there's no point her having truma, because if she's having truma and her father isn't a Kohen, then they'll all her and her brothers and her father will start eating truma, and it'll become a whole gansa maisa balagan. So the Rabbanan, since she is stuck in his house getting fed, they stopped her having truma so it doesn't get all mixed up. But now, after 12 months, that the husband, who's the Kohen, he's now feeding her, now she's allowed to eat truma because she doesn't have to be eating at her father's, and therefore the point of the takana of her not eating the truma doesn't apply. But it's not such a big deal that she can eat truma, because deraisa, she can eat truma from Shas Kedushin anyway. So now that's basically the din, that if the 12 months are up, then she gets fed by him. Yachol, you could think that the 12 months are up on Sunday, and there he would have to pay her the mazonos. So it's a havamina that if Sunday happens and they don't get married, that he has to feed her. Therefore we learn that she gets married on a Wednesday. Therefore, if she gets married on a Sunday, if she doesn't get married on a Sunday, therefore he doesn't have to pay for her food. So therefore, if it's he only has to start paying for her food from Wednesday. So the whole din of he didn't get married to her, it's only on a Wednesday, and therefore not on a Sunday, and kol shekei not on a Monday and a Tuesday, and a Wednesday, and the whole thing. V'ocheles betruma im kohen hu v'hi bas Yisrael, because she would be eating truma anyway if she's a bas kohen. So hakohen machel es ishto truma kedi alef lekaman. Mi v'kohen ki yikne nafsho. So as soon as he makes the kinyan for kedushin, so then she becomes a kinyan, and therefore she can eat truma. So why did we say that she can marry it on Wednesday? Lehodia shetakanas chachamim miyakvuto. That is the takanas chachamim that is stopping him. Why did he not get married on Sunday? The takanas chachamim stopped him getting married on Sunday. He couldn't mikanes. Ein akav zu shalo. It's not him making the yikuv, and therefore he doesn't have to pay the mazonis. He doesn't have to feed her until Wednesday. So this is tremendously difficult Gemara, because he hasn't explained anything whatsoever. Seemingly we're asking, maybe we don't know what the question is, but the simple question is why don't we get married on Sunday? And the answer is because there's a Gemara that says that if he doesn't feed, if the time comes, he has to feed her. Therefore, we say Wednesdays, you don't have to, because you can't feed her on Sunday. Well, why can't we feed her on Sunday? Just get married on Sunday and feed her. Now, this you haven't answered anything. That Gemara over there doesn't answer anything.
Right.
So Amar Rav Yosef, Mare to Avraham. So Mare to Avraham, Rashi says, Tama al divrei Rabbo, Va'amar Mare to Avraham, the master of Avraham. It'd be like saying holy moly, or Jesus, or something like that, whatever the colloquial colloquial comment of when you're bringing God or hot diggity damn, married Abraham, the Lord of Abraham, the Master of Abraham. What was Shmuel saying this? So again, so we start off with Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. So Shmuel is giving this din. V'od shechala Rav Yosef v'shachach tamudo. So Rav Yosef got sick. This is a few times he forgot his learning, and you'll see the story throughout just a few times. But tuhu ha'al devrav harishanim, and he is wandering on the original words. So in the Gemara, so Talitaina B'Delot Tanya. So Shmuel is bringing a Mishnah, a Talitana. So we've got two Mishnahs, and one of them he is putting the reason for one Mishnah on the other Mishnah. Talitana B'Delot Tanya. So something that is taught, he is referencing on something that isn't taught. So the Gemara asks, Hi Tanya v'Hai Lo Tanya. So which one is? They're both Mishnahs. Why are you saying that one's taught and one isn't taught? Ha Tanya v'Hai Tanya. They're both taught. Eila Tali Tanya de Mefarish Taima b'Tanya de Lo Mefarish Taima. So that our Mishnah gives a reason as to why you don't get married on Wednesday, and that is that b'yom. It's because Pa'amim b'Shabbos b'Tedin Yoshim b'Arayos. That's the reason why we don't get married on why we get married on Wednesday and we're asking on Sunday. The Mishnah over there in Nun Zayin doesn't give any reason whatsoever as to why you do or do not get married. All it's saying is that if you agree to get married and you don't get married, so then you have to pay for her. You have to start feeding her. There's no reason there whatsoever. You can do that any day of the week. So why are you using that Mishnah over there as a reason as to why we're not getting married on Sunday? Because there's no reasons over there. So whichever way you're learning this Gemara, is that why do we say we get married on Wednesday? Because over there, if you don't get married on Sunday, you don't have to pay her because you get married on Wednesday. But there's no reason not to get married on Sunday. It's just the Rabbanan said Wednesday. So why is that? Well, I don't know. But if you try to get married on Sunday, you don't have to pay her till Wednesday because the Rabbanan stopped her. So it doesn't make any sense here. What's going on in the Gemara? And the Yikr Kasha of Rav Yosef is that over in our Mishnah there's no reason. There is a reason given in our Mishnah, but there's no reason given over there. So Eila Ietmar Haki Itmar. So now Rav Yosef is going to change what Shmuel said because it doesn't make sense the way that he brought down Shmuel originally. So if you have a look at this Tosfot, the second one, Eila Ietmar Haki Itmar. But if this was said Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel V'lo Kashinan Rav Yosef. Daha Rav Yosef Kufa Kamar Eila Ietmar. So Tosfot is linking. It says here, Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. And therefore there seems to be a girsa where it says, Eile Yitmar Hachi, Yitmar Amar Rav Yosef. If it said Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Shmuel, then you'd be like taking out the whole chunk of the top Gemara. Tosfos is saying that this is a continuation of what Rav Yosef is saying. Since this is a continuation of what Rav Yosef is saying, Amar Rav Yosef starts here. And all of this is Rav Yosef. And therefore we're not going to just say, Eile, the Eila Ietmar Hachi Itmar is what Rav Yosef is saying, and as he's going over his learning, he's masoder what he forgot, or he's masodering what Shmuel said, and therefore it's Rav Yosef is just saying that this is really what Shmuel said. Mipnei Amru Besula Niseis Leyom Ravi. Why are they getting married on the Wednesday and not on the Sunday? She'im Haya Lo Tainis Besulim. So if they have, so why are they getting married on Wednesday? Because if they have a Tanis B'Sulim, they go to Beis. And that's all really in the Mishnah. That's what our Mishnah says. That's the whole point of our Mishnah. Betina Sebiyacha B'Shabbos. So let's get married on let's get married on Sunday. Shem Hayilo Tanis B'Sulim, Hayim Ashkim LeBeistin. It's the same reason as to why we're getting married on Wednesday. We should be getting married on Sunday. Now, up to this point, we've only had one reason to get married, and that is because of Beis Din. So therefore, it's either Sunday or Wednesdays are the days to get married. So now we have a second reason, and this is kind of out of left field. Shoktu chachamim al tekanos bonus Yisrael shetarech besuda shlosha yamim, eche b'Shabbos, v'sheni b'Shabbos, v'shlishi b'Shabbos, b'ri kunsa. So we have this time called Shoktu. Shoktu really is that they were a shoker is to be like zrizas, and that the chachamim were zaris for the women, that the man will have to make a suda for 3 days. So yehei teirech, that the man has to be teirech in the suda 3 days. So the man is teirech for 3 days. Eche b'Shabbos is 1 day. Sheni b'Shabbos is 2 days. Shlishi b'Shabbos is the 3rd day. He's working for 3 days. Ubavri kunsa, and then on the 4th day, that's Wednesday. Therefore, he brings her in. So therefore, the nisuyin has to be on Wednesday and not on Sunday, because of the din of Shoktu, where he has to be preparing for 3 days. Now, if we have a look at Rashi, this is Yud Amud Aleph. Rashi brings an idea here from the Gemara. Chazaka ein adam tarech besuda. So ein lachush sheyiton adam kach. So we're basically saying that he has a believed. So here Amarava Chazaka ein adam tarech besuda umafsida. So he has a level of ne'emonus. He's believed. If he goes into Beis Din and he says Pesach Besulach Matzati, he has a level of believability. Why? Because the man isn't going to be torech in his suda this whole time and then start making up claims against the woman. So ein lachosh sheyiton adam kach ela be'emes. So we're saying that this guy is talking be'emes. She'im haya soina oisa. If he hated her, and this is the reason why he is bringing this fake taina, metchila lo haya torech besuda v'konso mafsed sudaso. So he's spending a long time doing this suda. He's spending 3 days, and therefore he's not going to do all this in order to just be mafsid all the work he did. Sudaso chinam elahaya megaresh mitchila. So he's just going to get rid of her. So he's mekadosh her, and now here 3 days before the nesuyin, all he'll do is just divorce her on the spot. He won't bother making the suda, putting all his effort into the suda for 3 days. He'll just divorce her on the spot, kick her out, and you're done. So this is the idea of Shoktu. So Shoktu Chachamim, that the man will therefore have a reason, he'll have a ne'emonus, he'll have believability, that if he hates the woman, he just won't bother going through this whole process. So why is he bringing her to Beis Din to try to usher her upon him? Because he actually found a good taina of Pesach Besuach. So therefore the Rabbanan were forcing upon him that he has to be working for 3 days. Since he's working for 3 days, then he'll have believability, and after the 3 days he will enter her, and therefore you can't get married on Sunday because it'll be over Shabbos. He's not working on Shabbos, and the food will get spoiled over that time. So therefore we have the reason of Shoktu plus the reason of Beis Din, and therefore Wednesday is the only time of the week that works. So Toli Tana but Lo Tana Toli Tam Mishnah Shonini be Mishnah Shenina. So this is the previous idea that there was no Mishnah actually taught. But Makshin and Rav Yosef, High Tani v'High Lo Tani, they're both Mishnahs. Ele Tani Tani b'Farish Tani but Lo Tani Mishnah Senu Tama Mefurish b'Toichot. Our Mishnah has the reason in it. Kedei sheyashkim leBeis Din v'Hagiyaz man. Ein shum tam Mefurish ba Loimer Mipnei ma. So over there in the Hagiyaz man, this Mishnah, there's no reason whatsoever to say if the time is reached on the first of Shabbos that you don't give her mazonos. It doesn't say that at all over there. So get married in the first. So Kula Rav Yosef Karmarla. This is a continuation of Rav Yosef's question. So Rashi doesn't really bring in here. Rashi doesn't really. So here we say Akshavi doesn't bring in here this idea of Shoktu. We'll see we saw the idea of Shoktu later, but this is a takana for her. This is is Shoktu for her benefit or for his benefit? The takana, because First, we have to ask the question: is the takana of the Beis Din, is that for his benefit or for her benefit? In the Mishnah, the idea of which we're given in the Mishnah, that the Beis Din, that's a benefit for him, because he's trying to usher her on him, and he says that she's Pesach Pesuach, and she says no, it was later or whatever. So he's trying to either change the Kesuva or get or usher her. So this is a takana for him that he can go to Beis Din. So now we have a takana for her, which is the Shaktu, that helps her, since this and we'll see the nafkamina later. Now here, Kula Rav Yosef Karmarla, Vetinsay be'achad b'Shabbos, this question that we get married on the first of, get married on Sunday, that's all Rav Yosef. So really, that's Rav Yosef's question back up here. This lacher is Rashi's pshat in Amar Rav Yosef, Tosfot Mipnei ma Amar b'Sulin sis liyom Revi. Rashi over here says that that's Rav Yosef when he says it b'Feirush that you should be Tinaseh be'achad b'Shabbos. That's Rav Yosef, and that's really included in this question over here. So now to finish off, so mitok she'eno yochol likanes. So because of the din of shoktu, he's not allowed to marry her on Sunday, since he can't marry her on Sunday. Eno malalo mezoinus. So that which we learned over there on non design without any tamim hagiyazman velo niso ocheres mishalo vecheres betruma. Now that's what that din over there. Now we can learn that bit din back in here. Hagiyazman be'achad b'Shabbos. If she's meant to enter on the first of Shabbos, mitok she'ena yachol likanes ena mal lemezunus. So since he's not able to enter, therefore, because the Rabbanan are stopping him, therefore he doesn't have to pay her. The Fikach Rav Yosef Messiah la Mishmei denafshe. He's entering himself. This isn't what Shmuel is saying. Shmuel is just saying over there in Nun Zion. Umisvara ve'amar lefikach oel v'lamadnu sheha'akov machmas oines eina chayiv lezoina. He's not chayiv to feed her. Then we get into the idea of other types of oines. But here we have an oines that he's not allowed to marry her on Sunday. Why is he not allowed to marry her on Sunday? Because the Chachamim are stopping him. The Chachamim are saying shoktus, therefore he's not allowed to break the shoktu, therefore he has to enter her on the Wednesday, since he's prevented from entering her on the Sunday, therefore he doesn't have to pay her, because the oines is stopping him from entering, therefore he's potter, and only if he doesn't enter on the Wednesday does he have to pay for the wedding, does he have to pay for her mazonos? So that's kind of the sugya down. It kind of needs to be relearned once you kind of get to the end to see how it all kind of fits together. So if you have a look at hopefully the Ramban will kind of say what we have said. Mishnah Shimha Yelo Tanis Besulam Mashkila Beis. That's on it. Gemara Had the boy Rav Yosef Mipnei Ma Omer Besulam Nisas Lim Ravi Hachika Kasha. So the Ramban's going to speak out what his kasha was, because it's not clear what his kasha was. Tina said be'echad b'Shabbos, get married on Sunday. That's what we said the question was. That's the most posh way to learn it. Ve'im yesh lo tanis besulam yashkim lebeis. And if he has a tanis besulam, then go to Beis Din. The Hachika Amar Hey Chamru Shetina say. But Dala Davka, why are we specifically going on Wednesday? Davka, we can also get married on Sunday. V'hadar Amar Taima Misham Mashkim lebeis din the Chachlushu leikru daisa. They has to go get married on Wednesday so we can go to Beis Din on Thursday. So therefore he won't calm down. V'lahahu Taima Tina Seinami Be'achad b'Shabbos. That's the same reason that we're saying get married on Wednesday. You should be getting married on Sunday. V'nicha le Yom Dalid. Roy l'nisuni noiter meyalef b'Shabbos, and it seems to be good that Wednesday is better than Aleph and Shabbos. Im hegia zman on the first of Shabbos eina malala mezonis. Ve'im hegia b'dalet malala. Rechikab tana liom dalet. That since it's better to get married on Wednesday, therefore if it comes out he's meant to get married to her on Sunday, and therefore he doesn't. Therefore he doesn't have to pay. He has to pay if he's meant to get married on Wednesday. Aval imrod say konis af be'echad b'Shabbos ketzani sefer taima. But if he wanted to, he should be able to koines also on Sunday, like we said the time in the Sefer that the Beis Din is sitting on Monday. So therefore, why are you telling me that if I try to marry her on Sunday, since the Mishnah says Wednesday, therefore I don't have to enter her, and therefore I'm potter. But the reason that I enter on Wednesday is the same reason I should be entering on Sunday. So v'kashale, my timer, eina malala tina sebi yachu b'Shabbos yala mezonos. Just marry her on Sunday and then feed her. Shulafim meshasina lo tiknu dala klal. The Mishnah was only metaken elam misham sheyashkim lebeis din. The whole point of our Mishnah says go on Wednesday to go to beis din. V'zeh tam afilu lecha b'Shabbos. That also works on Sunday. Who v'lama amru b'revi. Therefore, what does the Mishnah itself say? Revi. V'had amar tali taina de mefarish taimo. Lav lememer. It's not to say that the Mishnah is mefarish taimo le shalotina se be'achu b'Shabbos. It doesn't say that the Mishnah says well we shouldn't get married on Sunday. Ela hakikim is what it's saying. Heichi tali mat nisin dikatani ba taima. Mipnei ma nisis bedalid. That how can you give the reason of the Mishnah that says why we don't get married on Rana but davar she'ein bo tam, that has something that doesn't have any reason. Dehi gufa manale tam leshalotina se ba'alet. That itself, how can you say why do we get married on Sunday? What we see over there in the Mishnah, but that doesn't give any reason at all. B'Shabbos veloti boy mizonis ve'afal pi shetam mishnasinu einu maspek le'echad b'Shabbos. Even though our Mishnah doesn't give a reason why it should be, it's enough for Sunday. Mikomokom time ketani. There is a time in there. It says something. It gives at least some reason. V'keven sheyesh tam l'shar hayamim. But since it gives a reason for some days, v'kalal nami echa b'Shabbos b'hadei heicha ta'toile ota b'mishnah she'en bo tam. So that Mishnah over there that has no time whatsoever, or non zayin amad aleph has no time whatsoever. So how can you toile? Our Mishnah at least has some type of time, and that Mishnah has no time. The Tanya de lo mefarish time lav davka, and that's what it says. It doesn't have a time as lav davka. The lo katani shalotina say velo hatam ela b'mitnaseinu katani she'ena nises. It's only the only reason you have a tam is in our Mishnah. It says don't get married, which is on the Wednesday because of the Beis Din. V'yesh imrim mikatani hagiyah zman velo katani la'achar zman. That it says. It's that we've reached the time. It doesn't say after the time. Im lo nisu mala amazonis alma yeshizman acher velamat a Sunday. So it says hikiyas when the zman is reached. It doesn't say after the zman, after a specific time, and therefore im lo masu. So if you don't get married, it's coming to say that there is a zman acher, that there's a different time. So it says hikiyas man. It doesn't say la'achar zman. Therefore, there's an achar zman, and that is aleph. That's on Sunday. The ilashar yomei lama li le mitnei kla. Why even say it at all? Because if it was hagiyah zman referring to you reach a certain time. If it was just after the time, let's say it was Tuesday or Wednesday, so therefore you could just that would also be achar zman. Ve'enam muchuvor. That's not clear. Ubelishna basra. So it seems to have a different Adamar v'achshav shinu shaktu zeh hapirushu al derech perish Rashi. So Ramban is saying that his pirush, the bit at the end, he's rejecting. But what he said up at the top, he's saying that is perish Rashi. Now there's a big machlokas as to what perish Rashi is. The Ramban is declaring that his pirush, which is the way that we were explaining it in the Gemara, is the Pirush of Rashi, and that's how Rashi is learning. And Tosfos is learning a completely different way. Mipnei ma omru. Mipnei ma omru b'sula nisis yom revi. Ein l'shol tam lama nisis b'revi. We're not going to say what's the question to Imkain. He's not asking the reason why are we marrying on Wednesday. Ma amru nisis li yom revi. Why are we getting? Why is the basula married on Yom Revi'i? We're not asking the reason why, because if that's so, we didn't answer anything. We didn't answer anything why we're getting married on Wednesday. We're saying that that if you don't get married on Sunday, you don't have to feed her. But that's not a reason why you get married on Wednesday. Eila hachi perusha. This is the perush. Mipnei ma amru. So kloimer. Again, kloimer means it's not the posh b'shat. My nafka mina shetiknu nises b'revi. Now it can't be stam. What's the nafka mina b'chlal? Because the obvious nafka mina is that there's a beis din on Thursday, but the nafka mina is what's the what happens if you don't get married on the Wednesday? So the Chachamim were metakin you get married on Wednesday. What's the halacha that comes out of that? Well, Mishani, the halacha is nafkamina le'inim mezonis, that there's a halachic nafkamina when you have to feed her, truma, and when she can eat truma. For Rav Yosef kametame married Abraham, and Rav Yosef asks, ha nafkuta mefarish behediya. Shim haya lo tanis besulim, v'haya maniach nafkuta zu ha mefareshes v'toifis nafkuta achrisa. So, in our Mishnah, the nafkamina is clear because if you have a besulim, so therefore you're going to go on that you're going to you're going to go to beis din on the Wednesday, on the Thursday. So there's a mefurish nafkamina in our Mishnah. So therefore, why did we drop that one and then go on to the one in Non Zion that doesn't have a nafkamina mufareshes? So we're totally taima in our Mishnah here. We're saying that the nafkamina on getting married on Wednesday is an explanation of the Mishnah over there in Non Zion, as that if you try to marry her on the Sunday, so therefore you don't have to feed her, even though it doesn't say it over there. But we have a time of ferocious in our Mishnah. So there's two ways. Again, the Gemara is a sure Gemara because, again, what exactly is going on here? Why you get married on Wednesday? Again, what exactly is that question? It's not clear what that question is. But the Mishnah in Nun Zayin has nothing to do with getting married on Wednesday, and it's just saying, well, since you can't get married on Sunday, even though no one said you can't get married on Sunday. Well, I don't know. Our Mishnah says you can't get married on Sunday, but we don't know why you can't get married on Sunday. And then all of a sudden later on it says shoktu. So until it brings in this idea of shoktu, so then we don't really know why you can or cannot get married on the Sunday. So it's a bit of a shver Gemara with the Ramban and the Tosfos should be able to get a read through of it. But the Kitzer, the pshat is that why? So why are we getting married on the Wednesday and not the Sunday? Because the Chachamim were shoktu and they forced the man to make this food for 3 days. And the posha is that you have to do it 3 days ritzufin. And therefore you can't get married on the Sunday because all your food will get burned over Shabbos. Why? Or get spoiled to go bad over Shabbos. So why do we want you to make this meal so that if you go to beis din on the next day, so therefore you'll have a believable time? So therefore Sunday doesn't work to get married to go to beis din on Monday, but therefore Wednesday works so you can go to beis din on Thursday. So now that Sunday doesn't work to go to get married, if the 12 months of when you are toveya her for Nisuyin, the 12 months are up on a Sunday, since the Chachamim of Shoktu are stopping you getting married, so therefore you don't have to feed her. You don't have to feed her on Sunday or on Monday or on Tuesday. You only have to start feeding her on Wednesday if you still haven't married her. And that's basically the point. That's basically the Gemara up to Lefikach. Now, Tosfot Mipnei ma omru b'nechusa garsin in law v'lo ba lahakshos ela v'tinaseh be'echa b'Shabbos. So this is going up in this part of the Gemara. Ela Amar Shmuel Mipnei ma omru. This isn't a question. This is just why do they say that the besulas nistes on Revi? It's b'nechusa, meaning that it's not. We're not asking a question. We're just stating something. And the whole point is that mashkin lebeis din. So the whole point, are we getting married on Wednesday in order to be mashkin lebeis din? In order to be asked this question to tinaseh be'echa b'Shabbos. So therefore, mipnei ma amru, it's not a question at all. It's b'nechusa, and it's only bringing us to this question. Well, why don't you get married on Sunday? Because again, Tosfos didn't learn up here why you getting married on Sunday. Now the tinaseh be'echa b'Shabbos. So Tosfos is now going to bring in a third reason as to why the Rabbanan were mitaken Thursday, to get married on Thursday. Well, boy, he doesn't want to answer the Nises B'Revi Kedei Shetibo B'Chamishi. So again, we have this idea that we're getting married on Wednesday, yes, but the bia has to be on Thursday night. So we had Tosfos before talking about Liyom Revi v'lo B'Leil Chamishi, because you'd be a trade b'nesoyin v'lo yiba'ol. You'll get busy with the ksuva, you'll get busy with the marriage, and you won't have relations. You'll miss your Thursday night window, and then you'll miss the beis din. So you're meant to get married on the Wednesday, and then you have the bia on the Thursday. That's the whole point. But there's another reason, misham bracha. So on Hey Amud Aleph, which is later, come on, it says that there is a puru uruvu of the dagim. The fish get a bracha of puru uruvu on Thursday, and therefore you should get married, or the bia should be on the Thursday, so you get the bracha of puru uruvu like the fish get. Shenemar abol ledagim, that says on the fish, as we say later on in Daf Hey. V'od lama litam d'shoktu. So now he's brought in this third reason of bracha. So again, we have beis din, we have shoktu, and we have bracha. So now v'od lama litam d'shoktu. Why do we have this reason of shoktu? Tipukle mishum bracha. Just say because of bracha. So therefore, when the Gemara says up here, why do we get married on Monday? Why do we get married on Monday? So shoktu chachamim. Why? Don't bother answering that. Just say bracha. Because of bracha, there's a bracha on Thursday night, therefore get married on Wednesday. There's no bracha on Sunday night, and therefore get married will be on the Monday night before beis din. So therefore you have to get married on. So because of this bracha idea, just get married then. So again, the odd, this is the second kasha. Oimeri the tam de bracha ena ela eitzatayva. So this reason of bracha, it's only an eitzatayva. It's not a chiyuv. It's an Eitzah Tova. So they're saying, if you want the bracha, go get the bracha, then have a bia on Thursday night. For law mikri of varaina, you're not called that you're over to kanas chachamim. So again, you can get married whatever day you want. However, the Rabbanan were metakin you get married on Wednesday. Therefore, if you get married on Tuesday, therefore you're over the Tekanas Rabbanan. So Tosfos here is saying that if you don't fulfill the Eitzah Tova of bracha, therefore you're not called you're over the Tekanas Chachamim. Aval mishum shoktu mikri of Rhino. But if you don't do this whole din of shoktu, therefore you're over the Tekanas Chachamim. So that's the teretz of Tosfos, which we'll get back to because he's bringing in he's giving in this third reason of bracha. We have to see why do we need all three reasons. So he says bracha is just an Eitzah Tova, therefore it's not a compelling reason to actually get married on the Thursday night or the Wednesday. And shoktu is a compelling reason because it's a Tekanas Rabbanan. V'kein mashma lekamon. Ta'amar tam mishum bracha. We're saying that if you do have the bia on the Wednesday afternoon, we're not worried that the extra few hours into Wednesday night that you will then stop yourself from going to beis din. Because if you have bia on the Tuesday, so therefore maybe you're not going to come to beis din on the Thursday. You have the ikr daisai that maybe you'll be mifayes and you won't actually end up coming to beis din. So that's not going to happen if you have it on Wednesday afternoon. But for bracha, you should kick it off until the nighttime. So my nafka mina. So why are we saying that it's we're not worried about ikr daite? Why are we telling this? If you're not allowed have the bia on the Wednesday afternoon because of bracha, then why are you telling me that I don't care about ikr daite lo chashin? And so what's the nafka mina? Levada mishum de bracha lo mikri evraina. So therefore it's saying that you really can have your bia on Wednesday. If you don't want the bracha, if you don't want the Eitzah Tova of having the bia on the Thursday, so therefore you can you should do it on Thursday night because of the bracha. But ikr daisa, which is the Tekanas Chachamim, and you're over if you do it, if you get married on the Tuesday. But if you want to have the bia on the Wednesday, that's fine. You can push away the bracha, the Eitzah Tova. You can get rid of that, and you're not called. So therefore, if you do it during the day, lo mikri of raina of being over the ikri daisa, even though you were over the bracha, you weren't over ikri dias, and therefore it's mutter, and therefore if you don't want the bracha, it's just an eitzah type. If you want the bracha, so therefore have it. So that's about getting married on the Sunday. So we have three reasons now that Tosfos is introducing here, because the Gemara doesn't mention it until hey. So we have bracha that it's an eitzah taiva. So therefore, that's not. If we just have that reason of bracha, it's not really going to help us much, because you can get married whatever day you want. If you want to be a frummy, then you get married on the Wednesday. But it's not going to force anyone to do that. It's no tekanas chachamim. But once I have shaktu, what do I need a beis din for? And if I have beis din, what do I need shaktu for? And if I have shaktu and I have beis din, what do I need bracha for? So shaktu, if I have shaktu, then I can make the meal Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, get married on Wednesday. I can also do the meal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, get married on Thursday. Seemingly I can also do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get married on Friday. So since we're holding at the end game that you have to get married on Wednesday, so therefore shaktu on its own isn't going to help. If I have shaktu on the bracha, it also isn't going to help, because I don't need to keep the shaktu and I can still get married on Friday. So therefore, if I have beis din and I don't have shaktu, then I can get married on Sunday and I can get married on Wednesday. So therefore, shaktu and the beis din means that I can only get married on Wednesday, and therefore I'm also fulfilling the eitzah taiva of the bracha to kick it in onto Thursday. So that's kind of all the sugya of the Wednesday, and we're just kind of drop it like a cold fish, and get into a whole different sugya of oines. And again, you can really get bogged down on this oines, and these are kind of klalim on kol Torah kula on oines. We're just going to do a line or two here. So we've said that the whole kind of point of the Gemara up to this area, bringing down from Nut Zion, is that since the Chachamim are stopping you getting married on Sunday, therefore, if Hagi is man on Sunday, you were oines. The fact that you didn't get married, you were oines. Therefore, you don't have to feed her. The whole Tekanas Chachamim of you feeding her, you don't have to do that, and she can't eat truma and the whole thing because of oines. Therefore, chala hu or shet chalachi. So therefore, we have other types of oines. Chala hu or shechalahi or shepirsanida eno mala lo mezonos. So lefikach Rav Yosef Mesayim la mishmei denafshe musfar Rav since velondisha ha meukav machmas oines eno chayev lezoina. So since it's an oines, he doesn't have to feed her. So here are the oineses. Chala hu, he gets sick. There's one oines. Therefore, he doesn't have to feed her. Can't get married. Why didn't he get married? Because he's sick. Therefore, I didn't get married to you, therefore I don't have to feed you. Or shechala he, or she gets sick. Since she's sick, there's no marriage, I don't have to feed you. Or shepir sanida, she becomes a nida, therefore he can't marry her. Therefore, that's an oines, ena mala lo mezonos.